Hey, what's up? This is the Frickin' Pope again, and I'm gonna be talking about a item build on Amumu. For items, you mainly this is your core build on Amumu. It's about 8,500 gold, which is you probably won't get that in a normal game, a game with maybe you go let's say 5, 2, and 10 or something like that. That's probably you probably will get close to your Banshees, but you won't get those 4 items in a normal game. But if you're rolling, or if it's just a very long game, some extended items that'll help. Heavy, well, it kind of depends on the team. If they have heavy magic damage, you're going to want to go, I usually pick up a Force of Nature if I'm having trouble with magic. If I, maybe I'll skip the Cape and go just Banshees and then Force of Nature. Because with the Aegis and just the armor you already have, I mean, you really won't need that much. If their whole team, now if they have magic armor damage and you want to pick up, physical damage, then you want to pick up that Cape before you pick up your Force of Nature. But additional magic resist, you're going to want to go Force of Nature, and then based on your preference, if your team has a lot of magic damage, then you're going to go Abyssal Scepter. There it is. Abyssal Scepter. So that's, it's a very long game. You probably won't get that amount of gold. But aside from this Abyssal Scepter, if you have like a attack damage team, then you go GA. I would say GA would be the best choice there. I know it has armor too, but magic team, AP teams that do a lot of magic damage, even if they kill you with all that MR, then you can just come right back with all of it again, and it's very helpful because they are very cooldown based. They're not auto attack champions. Okay, now alternately, if you're playing a physical damage team, of course you're going to want to build more armor. Thornmail, you could build Thornmail, but honestly, I don't do that on Amumu. You could build additional capes. It's a fairly cheap item compared to other items, but I would suggest going Randuin's, because Randuin's is amazing on Amumu. You get that cooldown reduction, and you get that active that will slow them after you ult. You could do that in combine with your ultimate or after it's over. And then I would go Frozen Heart. There are a number of items you can go, but I really like the Frozen Heart. Once again, cooldown reduction and also the reduced attack speed. That coupled with the Randuin's is very good. And it gives you that extra mana, so you really don't go during fights. That would be my physical damage build, and that would, in case you're wondering, let's see what this comes out to. I think it'll be near 330 armor, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 323 armor with this build, so that's an insane amount and you still have 144 magic resist with this because of your Banshees, your Mercury Treads, and your Aegis. And with the MR build, let's see here. We had we didn't have another Aegis. We had a Force of Nature and let's just say Guardian Angel, because I don't really think Abyssal Scepter would be used. And update that. Of course, this gets a little laggy. And I mean, look at these builds though. It costs a lot of money. You're really not going to get the full build of that unless it's a very long game or you're fed. Well, now look at that. That's a little bit more balanced because the GA gives you a lot of armor too, but you still have a ton of MR and even over 200 armor. So that's probably a more balanced build in my honest opinion. So probably you're going to want to shoot for if they have a balance of both, I would suggest getting these 4 items. This is your core build here on Amumu. You got to get that Aegis for your team. Your team fights is what Amumu is all about. Merc Treads, I mean, conditional, but what else are you going to use? You could go Ninja Tabby if they're heavy physical. Not really a big deal there. I prefer Merc Treads. Getting around, reduced, all that stuff's nice, and the MR is not bad either. But of course, Sunfire Cape. I mean, that's the original Amumu build. You just run around, burn people, and tear them. That coupled with this W does a lot of damage to nearby enemies. Your Banshee's Veil gives them health, gives them mana, MR, and it gives you that negative spell block, so you can not be hindered when you're trying to get to their team or use their ultimate or something like that. That's why I use those 4 items as my core build. But if I had to choose, if they had a balanced team, I would most likely go with these 5 items. I really like Amumu because you really are a suicide champion. The way he's played, it's very aggressive. If you have a good team, you're team fighting a lot, you're getting in there, you're getting hurt, you're getting them to focus you as much as you can, you're causing disruption. You really want that GA as a 5th item if they're having a balance of damage. Now, as the last item, if you even get there, you know, at this point, it's either over or it's about to be. So items, you know, not really making too much of a difference. But you know, like I said, you could go Force of Nature, you could go Randuin's. I mean, you could go a couple things. It doesn't really matter at this point. But just building Amumu is all about building resistances and getting high HP. So that's why I like the Sunfire and Banshee's resistance and HP and Aegis. All 3 of those items have that in common, and that's my. Finishing off my Amumu guide, I'm going to talk about skill order. I kind of briefly covered this in my little jungle example, but you're gonna okay. Well, first of all, his passive is really nice for jungling. He attacks stuff and reduces magic resist, which helps for his despair and his tantrum. Bandage toss, nice ability. Not going to get that to level 4, but okay. Skill order. First, you're going to put a point into despair. That's level 1. That'll help you take down blue golem quick and hit level 2. Then when you hit level 2, you're going to take a point in tantrum. You hit level 3, you're going to get tantrum to rank 2. And at level 4, you're going to put a point in the bandage toss. Level 5, get tantrum to rank 3. And the reason I leveled tantrum first is because of the passive and because of the cooldown thing. So his passive takes reduced damage from physical attacks. So that's like default armor built into an ability passive. That's pretty nice. And plus the cooldown. So when you're in a team fight and you're getting hit a lot, you can use tantrum like multiple times. And even though it does low damage, I mean, if you just keep getting angry bandages off from people, it'll add up. But anyways, it helps a lot for jungling quicker. And, you know, leveling despair, I don't know if you notice here, the damage really doesn't go up too much. I mean, it's really negligible when you're talking about creeps here and that period of time. But tantrum definitely is better to level if you're jungling on Amumu. Okay, so we're at level 6 now. Of course, you take your ultimate. You know, that's team fighting. Level 7, you get tantrum to rank 4. Then at level 8, you get this. Oh no, we're gonna leveling bandage toss next, just for the raw damage and for the. I think the cooldown. Yeah, the cooldown goes down, so that's good too. Then at level 9, you get max out tantrum. Level 10, of course, you get bandage toss. 2 seconds lower cooldown, more damage. Then you get your ultimate at level 11. Then you get bandage toss again. Then you get despair, bandage toss, and then of course despair, ultimate, despair, despair. So you get the point. You're leveling tantrum first, you're leveling bandage toss second, you're maxing your ult, of course, at every opportunity, you're getting despair last.